We get to a point where we don't think that Kanye West can shock us anymore, and then he says something that is so shocking, so alarming. It's one thing to go after Kim, you can say whatever you want, I guess. It's his ex-wife. It's horrible, but he says it. To say things that will redound against the kids is just unforgivable. I mean, we've been through this so many times. We say it all the time. Wearing the Nazi shirt is unforgivable. The Klan hood itself.
It all kicks off with a father on fire and a family tangled in America's obsession with fame. We're talking about, the man who once stormed music's biggest stage in a leather kilt, now threatening to storm the LA courts in what he calls a battle for his daughter's innocence. He isn't hiding behind cryptic tweets from Wyoming anymore. He's locked and loaded, sharpening legal knives and aiming them straight at Kim Kardashian and Kris Jenner. His accusations, explosive enough to shake not just the dynasty, but the entire legacy of American celebrity culture.
The thing about the kids at some point here, and not for the younger ones, it's at some point. For North, it's right now, right? That even if she doesn't see it, even if somehow Kim is able to keep that away from her, the kids that her friends at school, they're gonna know about it. They're gonna see it. And it's just, it puts the kids in a horrible situation.
And at the center of it all is the 12-year-old daughter, Northwest. Already a viral sensation, already pushed in front of flashing cameras, now caught in the middle of a family feud nastier than any tabloid headline. His rage isn't quiet, and it's definitely not subtle. He's blasting Kim with claims that she's grooming North to be the next Kardashian cash machine, accusing his ex and her mother of turning the child into a product before she's even stepped into her teenage years. Kris Jenner, you swear she's the grand puppeteer pulling every string, just like she did with Kim, just like she did with Kylie, crafting a machine where a young girl's wardrobe doubles as a marketing plan. And says it's way bigger than sequined dresses or TikTok filters now. In his eyes, North's childhood is being sold one outfit at a time. He's vowed to burn bridges, sue whoever he has to, and drag the entire Kardashian empire into court if that's the price of protecting his daughter. And don't get it twisted. This isn't just bitter post-divorce rambling. His fury caught fire with one viral moment. That infamous photo of North in Rome rocking a corset and a miniskirt lit up the internet brighter than Times Square on New Year's Eve.
She definitely has Kanye's outgoing personality and will say whatever is on her mind, no matter what it is.
The backlash was immediate, and it wasn't just the usual trolls or online moral police. Parents, pop culture critics, even former Kardashian stans started side-eyeing the family, asking, is this really okay? The whispers turned into outrage, and overnight the custody fight exploded into a full-blown public circus. The exact kind of media frenzy claims he hates, yet somehow he's sitting right in the front row of the show. His explosive outbursts aren't just random meltdowns. They're the soundtrack of a man who swears he's fighting a machine built on monetizing and traumatizing women. In his eyes, Kris Jenner isn't just a momager. She's the architect of a twisted tradition, handing down a playbook where every new daughter is turned into a brand. Innocence traded for hashtags, sponsorships, and glossy magazine covers. And if you think Yaz just grandstanding for headlines, he's been planting seeds for months, warning about Hollywood sacrifices, secret backroom deals, and shadowy forces that keep the celebrity elite in check.
Like you put yourself in that.
Absolutely, I did. That was my fault.
Maybe they're saying that you don't take accountability.
No, that was my fault. I didn't want to have children with this person after the first 2 months of being with her. But that wasn't God's plan.
In one shocking rant caught by paparazzi, shouted, "They want to monetize and traumatize. My mama was sacrificed out here in Hollywood. A lot of people come up missing." Chilling words that left people torn. Is this pure paranoia, or does Ye know the sinister truth about what it really takes to survive at the top? That's the storm brewing behind what some are already calling the Illuminati custody battle. Industry whispers are getting louder. Talk of shadowy agreements, favors traded in silence, and power bought not with signatures, but with secrets. Ye has all but accused Kim and Kris of selling out their daughter's privacy in exchange for more media dominance. And yet, the Kardashian camp stays stone cold quiet, refusing to fire back at Ye's most outrageous claims. But the burning question remains, are we witnessing a father spiraling out of control, or is Ye ripping the curtain back on something darker? Something we've all side-eyed for years, but never wanted to admit about the ugly business of American fame. And like any scandal, there's a mirror.
You can argue a lot of things about Kanye, but you cannot argue that he's an
Your so-called moral crusade is already under fire for being drenched in hypocrisy. While he blasts Kim for dressing north in grown-up looks, he's parading his new wife, Bianca Sensori, through hotel lobbies in see-through mesh and latex like it's Yeezy after dark. And the backlash only intensified when news broke about Yee's latest Yeezy collab, a project tied to an adult film producer that had critics calling him out for playing both sides. Yes, you heard that right. Ye is allegedly stepping into the director's chair, casting, styling, and art directing content that turns his marriage into a bizarre reality show fever dream. And here's the twist. Insiders say Bianca is furious, not just over the shady business ties, but because she's being pressured to play the leading role in the spectacle herself. And if you're looking for consistency from Ye, don't bother.
Or she'll go to her dad. She'll be like, Dad is the best. He has it all figured out. He doesn't have a nanny. He doesn't have a chef.
This is the same man who, just months ago, was drowning in lawsuits, including one explosive claim from a former assistant who accused him of harassment at every level, from late-night explicit messages to disturbing encounters mid-flight at 30,000 feet. His legal team never wants to sit back, threatened to counter-sue, spinning the story against the accuser in a messy back and forth that only fueled the chaos. So now, the scoreboard looks twisted. He's blasting Kim for North's outfits, while he's dodging allegations that paint his own behavior as flat-out indefensible. It's a double standard so glaring it would almost be laughable, if it weren't so disturbingly dark. And now the legal stakes are climbing higher by the day. Insiders claim Kim is quietly building her own arsenal, stacking receipts of Ye's explosive outbursts, shady business dealings, and adult-focused ventures, all ready to argue that he's unfit to be a guardian. It's a strategy ripped right out of the Kardashian playbook. Keep the public front polished, let your ex self-destruct online, and hand the judge a perfectly curated file of evidence. While Ye rants, Kim stays silent, only dropping cryptic Instagram stories, quoting Ariana Grande lyrics about heartbreak and resilience, as if her feed is a digital smoke signal announcing she's not playing checkers, she's playing chess. But the bigger question is chilling.
She has made this very clear, she wants her kids to have a relationship with their father. She's not trying to stand in the way of that. But when he says things like this, at some point, she has to be thinking, I don't know if this is good for our kids to be around.
Is Kim truly protecting North's future by making the hard calls as a mom? Or is she ruthlessly plotting to erase Ye from the picture once and for all? The whispers are growing and the outcome could be brutal. If Kim wins, Ye may not just lose custody, but face total exile from his daughter's life. Every post, every move, every outburst is now ammo in a custody war that looks less like a court case and more like the explosive finale of a 12-season reality show none of us signed up for. And caught in the middle of the chaos is North herself, just 12 years old, being pulled between her dad's fight for innocence and her mom's global empire. North's Rome outfit may have sparked the fire, but let's not forget the world she's already trapped in. Just weeks ago, her TikTok, managed by Kim, posted a drawing inspired by Ye's latest album cover.
You think about if Harley was part of intelligence, right? What kind of people you think are surrounding my kids? What kind of people you think are in that?
Fans instantly flagged it as too grown up for a preteen, and the post vanished just as fast. The reaction was loud and clear. Let the girl be a little innocent. But in this family, innocence feels like it's always in short supply. Meanwhile, Kim is out here polishing her image, angling for public sympathy by playing the role of the reasonable parent. North's birthday? A full-blown spectacle in New York. Art parties, pizza giveaways, and even a surprise appearance from viral streamer Kai Cenat. The twist? Kai once clashed with Ye over something as petty as pants, making tabloids wonder if Kim invited him just to twist the knife. So was this a deliberate chess move, parading North alongside a face her father despises, or just another over-the-top attempt at Kardashian-style parenting that missed the mark? Either way, one thing stood out. He was nowhere to be seen. Yet another absence the gossip blogs were all too eager to dissect.
But as far as Meek Mills, Puff Daddy, whoever, none of these, all you fake hard.
Outside the family walls, the sharks are circling, lawyers are lining up, and media pundits are breathlessly dissecting every move, speculating about emergency custody orders and divorce drama reaching its breaking point. Attorneys keep reminding the public, social media meltdowns are the fastest way to lose a custody case. Judges hate when parents air their dirty laundry in the press, and that must sting for Ye, because we've all seen the late-night Instagram explosions, the ones where he blasts Kim, Chris, even Pete Davidson, accusing them of brainwashing my children and destroying my family. But here's the kicker. Every time Ye smashes that post button, he's not just venting, he's handing Kim a fresh piece of ammunition. And from the looks of it, she's ready to use every single one against him. Still, beneath the Instagram stories and legal paperwork, the core of this battle hasn't changed. It's about raw power. Who gets to shape North's future? Who writes a script? And who gets erased from it completely? He is clawing to cast himself as the last hero standing, a lone fighter against a dynasty of exploiters. But with every scandal, every lawsuit, and every shady rumor about his own choices, that heroic image is collapsing fast. Even some of his loyal fans are starting to ask, is this really about protecting North?
Because he's in the midst of a manic bipolar episode, or if it's just Kanye being narcissistic and inappropriate and thinking that the rules don't.
Or is Ye waging war against the same shadows that have haunted him ever since he first walked into Kris Jenner's empire? While the world keeps score, who's the better parent? Who's the real villain? The lawyers grind out motions, the tabloids churn out rumors, and Northwest, at just 12, is stuck, learning the harshest lesson of all in the Kardashian West universe. Privacy is nothing but a myth. Childhood is a fading luxury, and family loyalty, just another thing to be bought, sold, or sacrificed depending on who's holding the camera. And as Ye storms the public stage with the fire of a crusader, the ugliest contradiction comes crashing in, because while he paints himself as the lone defender of North's innocence, his own alliances tell a darker tale. Let's talk about Diddy. A man whose reputation is pure quicksand, scarred by lawsuit after lawsuit, riddled with allegations so heavy they'd make even the boldest reality TV producer break into a sweat.
It's interesting to wonder whether this will affect his relationship with his wife or if she knows about this.
Yet despite all that, Ye keeps choosing him, aligning, collaborating, and doing it publicly, willingly, and repeatedly, to the shock, disbelief, and outrage of nearly everyone watching. These aren't just casual brunches or polite industry hugs. We're talking real collaborations, music deals, creative projects. He is putting his brand side by side with a man drowning in allegations so explosive, they make Ye's own lawsuits look like child's play. And the question practically screams, is this what protecting your family really looks like? Because this isn't just guilt by association. Diddy's scandals are now household news. His name alone drags controversy from courthouse steps to primetime headlines. And still, in the middle of his so-called moral crusade, Ye seems blind to it all. Forgetting the victims, ignoring the fallout, and acting like teaming up with the collapsing empire won't torch his own image. How can he demand Kim shield North from exploitation while his own hands are clasped with Diddy's in backroom deals? The optics are brutal, And the world can see the slow motion car crash in real time. Every step he takes to crown himself the hero, his credibility takes another dive. And it's not just the court of public opinion turning against him. Behind closed doors, you know his lawyers are ripping their hair out, watching him hand Kim the very hypocrisy judges never forget in custody wars.
But that said, he has a long history of wildly inappropriate and bizarre behavior.
Diddy's never-ending legal sagas aren't the only skeletons rattling around in Ye's closet, because his own track record is looking darker by the day. Harassment claims keep piling up, from an ex-assistant's vivid testimony about unwanted encounters to former staffers describing a work environment that felt more like a deleted scene from The Wolf of Wall Street than a professional office. The lawsuits are real, the details are ugly, and the settlements still hang in limbo. These aren't the stories of a misunderstood genius anymore. They're shaping up to be the stories of a man whose judgment is spiraling out of control. And every time a fresh allegation splashes across the tabloids, Ye's claim of being the protector of North's innocence starts sounding less like fatherly devotion and more like a desperate deflection. Judges don't buy promises. They track patterns, and right now the pattern is not on Ye's side. And then comes the Bianca Sensori problem, a wild card that could be the fatal flaw in Ye's entire custody narrative. The world watched him scoop up Bianca, a rising model and architect, just weeks after his divorce finalized. At first, she looked like another supporting character in Ye's non-stop spectacle, until Yeezy's dive into adult entertainment projects blew up across social feeds, dragging Bianca into the center of the storm. Suddenly, Bianca wasn't just a muse. She was allegedly being pressured to become the face of a venture she never signed up for. Insiders claim Bianca's been pushed, prodded, and paraded in front of cameras in ways that eerily mirror the same kind of exploitation Ye accused Kim and Chris of inflicting on North. The difference? This time, it's Ye himself pulling the strings. And if even half the whispers are true, Bianca's frustration is boiling over.
Telling everybody exactly what they don't want to hear.
A source close to the couple says she's absolutely furious, and rightfully so, describing how she's starting to see her marriage not as a partnership, but as a full-blown PR stunt gone off the rails. Her fears go deeper than just public image. Bianca's terrified about what her future looks like if she doesn't break free. Friends say she's now quietly reaching out to legal advisors and industry contacts, plotting her own exit strategy while doing everything she can to avoid becoming the next headline in Ye's downward spiral. Could Bianca's growing resentment be the bombshell that forces her to testify against him? Could her escape act become the final crack that shatters Ye's already crumbling world? If Kim's legal team gets their hands on this, the custody case could flip overnight. Meanwhile, the dominoes keep toppling for Ye outside the family. His business empire is shrinking, endorsements have dried up, lawsuits are bleeding his accounts dry, and now even his inner circle is whispering that Ye could be broke by next year. These money woes aren't just gossip fuel. They're powerful, legal leverage. Because here's the brutal reality. If Ye can't afford lawyers, security, or even North's private school tuition, it's Kim who ends up covering the bills. And courts pay attention to that. No judge wants to hand custody to a parent struggling to keep the lights on, especially not one whose own social media meltdowns are already being used in court filings as proof that he's a danger to his family's stability. The Kardashian legal machine is circling like a hawk, watching, waiting, and ready to swoop in the moment the scales tip. And the picture forming around Ye couldn't be more catastrophic for his image. This is the man who built a legacy on disruption and bravado, now cornered by his own contradictions. He screams for the moral high ground while cozying up to scandal, drags Kim for chasing fame while launching ventures that make the Kardashians' reality show look tame next to Mr. Rogers, and brands himself the father fighting for innocence while pulling everyone close to him, wives, kids, business partners, straight into the mud. The court of public opinion isn't blind, and neither are the actual courts, no matter how many times you rants about Illuminati schemes or shadowy elites. And then there's North. Every move her parents make, every feud, every leaked message, every screaming headline, it's all shaping the future of a 12-year-old girl already turned into a lightning rod for attention. With Ye spinning deeper into chaos and Kim quietly stacking her wall of legal and emotional evidence, the stage is set for a custody clash that could define their daughter's entire life. The real question now isn't just who wins this custody war, it's who survives it with their dignity intact. If Bianca's rumored testimony lands in Kim's lap, and if Diddy's scandals keep staining everyone tied to him, then the writing may already be on the wall for Ye's last stand. But with this family, there's always a twist waiting in the shadows. He has never played by the rules. And if there's one thing he's shown, it's that every time you think he's finished, he flips the disaster into a spectacle. Rumors are flying about secret new projects, fiery new feuds, and an inner circle that's shrinking by the day. Meanwhile, Kim isn't sitting idle. With every carefully crafted Instagram post and every legal maneuver, she's quietly twisting the narrative back in her favor. And here's the hard truth. The final battle for North's future is only just beginning. While Ye scrambles to reclaim control, it's his own scandals, his messy alliances, and his unraveling marriage that may be sealing his fate in real time. We're watching a slow-motion collision, legal warfare mixed with tabloid spectacle, and the world is eating up every misstep, every rumor, every last Instagram story. So now I want to hear from you. Is Ye, the misunderstood father, fighting for his daughter's soul, a hypocrite drowning in contradictions, or is there something even darker at play beneath all this chaos? Drop your thoughts below and let's get into it. And don't forget, hit that like button, subscribe, share this with your friends, and sound off in the comments. I'll see you in the next one, baddies, because if you think this story has peaked, trust me, you haven't seen anything yet.